when the thing is done and your job is over, that's what you need to realize.
The ownership is over.
Over. That's what it is. That's what I say. Your ownership is over on that. And it's up to them whether to use it or not to use it or something, what to do. So that is what basically dana or tyaga. Now see the sutra here. It is said, Tyagamavadu. What is the meaning of tyaga? Here, in this context, what is tyaga? That's what he is trying to say. Muktopayangade anusandhit. Muktopayangad means there are few upayas which he discussed already. Like karma, jnana, bhakti, desavasa, avatar rahasya, deeparopana, pushpamala, samarpana. All these are what you taught as upayas. So, speaking all these upayas, you have to do these things. He did not say that not to do this, but doing all these things, you thought that they are upayas, but now realize that they are not really upayas. They are just your kainkarias. Because you feel like doing some kainkariya, you do it, that's finished. But you thought upayam and you are mistaken there. When you are mistaken, you have to just give it up. How to give up? It is like Sukti Kaile Rajita Buddhi Panduvare Polem. Some people, they thought it is nice silver by seeing just a shell. A shell. When you are on the seashore and when you see the shell which is broken, and the broken part of the shell shines so white, just like the pure silver. Did you see that? The broken piece of the shell shines so nice. But you went there and you are mistaken and you start taking and just enjoying, oh, this is silver. But somebody saw that and said, hey, it is not the silver, my friend. It is only just a piece of shell. Then what do? See, then you throw it. You throw it, you never look at it. You never look at it and you don't look back to get it. Do you? No? And you want to go towards some place and you have to go towards east. But you took wrong direction. You started going towards west. And you went on, went and finally you asked somebody, hey, is it the direction that I need to go? I want to go to this place. And I want to go to Boston. And what is the route? And they said, hey, you took the west direction. You have to take east. You are in a wrong direction. What do you do then? Suddenly you turn around, you take a U-turn, and then just you start going, and you never say, oh my God, this is what I came. You never think of the past, and you feel so sorry for covering this much of distance and wasting the time, and then you start going towards the direction which you have to go. Viparita disya gamanam panduvare poleyum. Viparita disya means opposite direction, traveling opposite direction. And you realize that this is opposite direction. What do you do then? And then you take a U-turn and then just you go. Like that, anupayangalile, which are not really upayas, upaya buddhi pandino. My God, we thought that these are real upayas. That means we mistook altogether. Realizing that mistake, and as you return, as you reverse, buddhi viseshattode tyajit kai, with a clear understanding, you should give them up. What you have to give up? Upayatva buddhi. Upayatva buddhi. They are upayas. You have to give up that thought, not the action. Don't stop making garlands. Understand? Don't stop doing the activities. You have to do that. Don't stop lighting up the lamp. And don't stop just living in visiting the temples and stuff like that. You can do those activities, but don't think that they are upayas for my survival, for my saving. See, somebody has given you some, what do you call them, bills, dollar bills. They gave just a bunch, and you saw that in the suitcase. The suitcase full of dollars, and you packed it. And then you went to your home. And while just you were on the way, somebody saw you and said, "Hi, this is all for you. Exclusively for you I brought. Come on, take it." Because we thought, when something came free, why should we deny? And you saw, and also you are in need of, so many dollars because you are constructing the ashrama. And Sarmika is in need of $8 million. And the suitcase, they said, $10 million are there in the suitcase. And then you thought, my God, it's really nice. And then you came to the ashram and kept it in the hall, closing all the doors, just make sure that 10,000 or $10 million are there, and you open, all they're just white pieces. All they're just white papers. And whatever the top notes are there, they are also real notes, they are fake notes. What do you do then? You take them to the garden and just burn them, pouring a liter of petrol on that. And do you feel sorry for doing so then, after doing that? No? You thought that it is real, but when you realize that it is not the real thing, as you just give up, and you never want to think about it at all. You thought something as nice fruit, and you hold it. But when you came to the light, the moment you saw that it's not really a fruit, it's an insect. It's an insect. There are some fruits, which are very, very nice, just like, what's that? That red, black, there are some kind of cherries. What are they? Some red color, right? They are just like cherries. They're so nice, so smooth. Yeah, something, blueberry or red berry or whatever it is. But it is very smooth, right? It is very soft to touch. So you thought it was dark, and you saw fruits the other day, and today also just you saw something there, and you thought that's the real fruit, and you took it into your hand, and you did not eat it right away, and you want to eat it, and you came to the room and you saw that in the light, it's not the strawberry, or it's not the red berry, or it's not blackberry, but it is something, a black insect, which also is very soft. In the Mandikira, there are some they crawl on the leaves. What do you call that? It's not a caterpillar. Caterpillar is black in color, but it's in a green color.
Yeah, it's a fruit worm.
Fruit worm, and the stomach is also so soft. చాలా మెత్తగా ఉంటుంది. అది ఇలా ఉబ్బుతూ ఉంటుంది, తగ్గుతూ ఉంటుంది. So you caught hold of that, and you came to the light, and you were about to eat it. Hey, somebody said, and you saw that it is an insect. What do you do then? you take soap and you wash the hand. You see the hand, and then you wash the hand again and again, and you don't feel like eating anything with the hand because you realize that is an insect, and then and you will be very, very careful next. And do you ever think about that insect again? When you realize that is an insect, after throwing that, as you throw it out and never think of that, as you throw the paper thinking that it is a note, some time back, our Venkatacharya brought a note. It is, there are so many zeros on that note, I did not count exactly how many zeros are there. It's a small note, but there are so many zeros on that. And in some countries, not it. Somebody said, it carries, so a lot of weight, they got it from somewhere. And when it was shown in the bank, they said it is some children's playing notes. Somebody gave it to him and he thought it values so many lakhs of rupees. And he thought it and then he brought it and he showed it us. But when it was asked in the bank, they said, don't hurt anybody, you'll be arrested. And this kind of notes are not there in the country, and long ago they were banned, all this kind of stuff. And if you show it anywhere else, you'll be arrested immediately and just don't keep it with you. Then what do you do then? You throw it and never think of such things. Like that. And whichever you thought that it is a means, it is a upaya. You thought it upaya because upayatva buddhi is there in your mind. Right? Upayatva buddhi is there in your mind. On something that is not really upaya. What is real upaya? Lord Himself. Lord Himself is the real upaya. But you thought that it is upaya. That means it is really anupaya. It is apaya. It is not upaya. It is apaya. And it is really danger. And you thought that it is upaya. Now you realized. So you give it up. And as you give up after realization, all these things like insects, like the fake notes, like the, what I said? Shell. The shell pieces. And as you realize that your route is wrong, and then you turn around, and then you try to go as fast as possible towards your goal, like that. On all these activities, when you thought that these are upayas that save you, in getting His grace, we also were thinking like that, let me chant it, God's grace will be there. Let me do this puja, God's grace will be there. That means we thought that these activities yield the grace of God on us. This is what we thought, right? But do they really yield the grace of God on us? They won't. God's grace comes on His own. Nothing will become means for bringing the grace of God. But these activities you have to do because you feel like bringing love, so you do it. That's it. You are not doing because they are means. Because they are ordained by scriptures, so you do. Because they are recommended by the scriptures, so you do. That's it. And you do as a service of God, but not as the means to attain the grace of God. You understand the point? That is what is called yaga here. Yaga. And now there is another prefix for that. Pari. What is pari? That is what they are saying now. Pari engira Upasargattale Patakadigalai Viduma pole Ruchi Vasanaigalodum Lajjayodum Kuda Maruvadidadapadi Vidavendum Engiradu. What is said here is Pari means with all kinds of thought related to that. You have to give up, not only just just physically giving up. Some few things that we physically give up, but mentally we are lingering with them. That is also should not be there. When you are committing a mistake, you are committing a sin, or you are touching the fire, and when you came back, and do you think, oh, I would have touched it for some more time like that? No. So when you come out of the sin, you think, I did a good job now. I did something dangerous. I would have fallen totally. I would have lost in total. But fortunate enough, I came out. So you feel happy for just discarding from that. And then you feel shameful for doing that when you realize that it gives a reverse fruit rather than good thing to you, right? That's what it says. See, there is a story. The Lord Mahasiva, when he born, he was a bit furious and also jealous. Jealous for what? Because he happened to see the face of his father, who is having 5 heads. And he checked himself. He got only 1 head. Then he thought, you are having 5 heads and gave me only 1 head? It's not right. It's not justifiable also. So, I want to just pluck your heads. And immediately he plucked 1 head of Brahma. And surprisingly, the head just was stuck in his palm, and he had no clue how to remove it. It was just stuck. And by which what happened, because he removed the head of the Brahma, he was imposed by a sin called Brahma Hatya, which is a very, very powerful sin, it seems. Brahma Hatya. So the Brahma Hatya is a sin fallen on him. That is one thing. And the hand is also seen with the skull. This is the second problem. But how to get rid of these things, he didn't understand. And he was pretty much worried about these 2 things. He went to his own father and said, Dad, how can I get rid of these things? One is the hand, and the other one is the terrible pain I am going through by this Brahma Hatya. So how can I get rid of these 2 things? Can you tell me something, please? He asked. Then, okay, Brahma said, that's okay. You have to first of all feel pity for what you did, and that saves you, but it should be for 12 years. So go to people and take Bhiksha from people. To receive Bhiksha, one has to show his right hand only, right? So when he shows his right hand, then there is a skull sticking to the palm. And then people ask him, hey, what is this skull? We are taking the skull. Where is the other vessel? They ask. Then he has to come out and say why the skull was sticking onto his palm. Then what he should say? I did this to my dad. Then people after listening, you. Aha, they say. But when the people just, show such a kind of face, then he feels itchy. He feels so painful. So feeling pain release from the Bhava karma. That itself release from the Bhava karma. Okay? So that is how they said, you do this for 12 years and then your Brahmadya will be relieved. He did for 12 years. Came out of the Brahmadya Bhava. But what about the skull then? Or I can just remove it. Then he said, you go and you beg for alms. If at all a great person gives the bhiksha in that, then the skull will be removed. And for which again he went round the world, and ultimately when he went to the Badrinath, and when he stretched his hand before Narayana, and then Narayana cut his chest, and it took the blood, and then dropped in the skull. The moment it touched the skull, it just removed from the hand and fell down. Where it is fallen, the place is called Brahma Kapalam. In Badrikashram, even today people go there, they offer the final alms to their departed parents and grandparents and so on, with the Brahma Kapala, and that's how they think. The Kshetra Purana says, the Kshetra Mahatmya says, that they will be relieved finally, and then nothing needs to be offered them for the future. That's how it is said. But when it came out, he was relieved. He was just relieved in a what you call it, in an opposite way. It is said in Purana, Swapna Labdha Dhanam Yatha. The Vyasa says, Swapna Labdha Dhanam Yatha. He is in dream. And then he thought somebody gave him so much gold. And then he thought, my God, how much gold? I got the room full of gold. And they said, it is mine. And when you're laughing, then the dream is gone. And then he woke up. And he saw all around, only parts are there. Clay parts which were in his home are only there in that home. Then how does he think? My God, his dream. How wonderful it would have been if real. He thinks so, right? But in an opposite way. It's an opposite way. As the person feels joy, thus by getting rid of the skull from the palm, the Lord Mahasiva also felt tremendously joyful because no skull in the hand which he was having since many decades now is gone, and it's very clear. He said, God, I am relieved now. He felt really happy. So like that, by just giving up the upayatva buddhi from them, and one should feel the joy. That is what the Pali says. Don't think, oh, why should I give up? At least I would have done that karma. Probably I would have been relieved from this kind of papas, and I would have done that also, probably that puja or this chanting or something like that. So that would have been helped me in achieving 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't think such things like that. That is what the Pari says. With the buddhi, while giving up, don't just physically give up and mentally think like that. I've seen people, they go to Gaya, and when they give up something there, the persons there, the pandits, the pandas, they ask, hey, give up some fruit which you like more. And then, one person likes mangoes very much. So because they say, whatever fruit you like very much, you have to just give one fruit, one flower, and one food dish. Something like that. They give you a list of things and you have to just give them up. Because you love them so much, to show your love towards them, you have to just, give away this kind of small things. So one person gave mangoes and he returned home. And it was summer. They get ripe mangoes. And there are varieties of mangoes available in India. The cheruku rasalu, pedda rasalu, chinna rasalu. And so many wonderful fruits. And when somebody was purchasing some mangoes, this guy was next to them and said, "Hey, don't purchase those mangoes. No, they are not good. Purchase these mangoes. These are good." Why it is for you? Oh, you have to say that. That means you physically gave up mangoes, but mentally you did not give up your mangoes. The mangoes are still in your mind. You are eating mangoes with your mind still, every day. That's why the moment you look at the mangoes, you say, "Oh, these mangoes are not good. These mangoes are good. You pick up these mangoes. Don't take those mangoes." That is how just you are able to say that, right? What we call ruchi and vasana. Few things physically we give up, but they are here pretty much. There are two levels in this. One is active and other one is inactive. The active memory what we have is called ruchi. But the inactive memory which we have is called vasana. Whatever the ruchi we have, it is just like the tip of iceberg. It's very little. But the vasanas are so many, unimaginable. They are just like the mountain which is, under that. So, when you give up something, right, but still you remember it constantly. You know why? Because physically you gave up, but the riches are there in your mind, pretty much recorded. Because the records are still available, active, you constantly think of those things. You still remember. One person whom we know used to say, "You see, I gave up watching movies, since 25 years. Do you know that? Since 25 years. That means he is pretty much remembering what he said 25 years ago. I mean, he is not seeing the movies, but with the mind, he is regularly watching the movies. That is what we call ruchi. He knows everything about it. He speaks great deal about it, but all that he won't touch it. That's all it is. That is what we call ruchi. Buddhi purvaka pravritti, we call it. What is the definition for that? Buddhi purvaka pravritti. That means you know about it and then you do it. So that's what we call as a ruchi. But vasana is something inactive memory, what I said, that is abuddhi purvaka pravritti. That means it is also something recorded in your mind, but it is inactive. It is in the low profile. It is just like the iceberg, which is under the waters, not seen really. That is actually recorded from millions and billions of our lives. That's pretty much there. You forgot about it, but the records are because there. So when you are in your dreams, you feel like doing something and seeing something and touching something and eating something and drinking something, which you never had experienced and you never wanted that also. But that happens during the dreams because it's the vasana. The vasana that comes up during your dreams, just probably because of the past, the karmas, because he drives the karmas, then he wants probably with that some kind of karma should be eliminated, and then he brings that past record up. and then he gives that experience. With that experience, some karma is done. But that is what we call as abuddhi purvaka pravritti. You stopped eating mango, right? Over a period of time, like 1 year you are active, 2 years active, 10 years you may be active, 20 years you may be active. But after that you forget about the mango. Even you see the mango, you don't feel like, just eating it at all. But still, when you are in dreams, then you may see sometimes mangoes. Why? Ruchi is not there, but vasana is still there. And because of those, the instincts, you call them as instincts. The instincts carry out from so many lives. Some people say, Swamiji, I never saw such a thing. And I never thought of that also, ever. But why did it come to me in my dreams? They say, it's true. You never thought of that. But the record is already there. And the record is carried out from previous births. During this birth, yes, you must not have seen. But the past records are there, right? And God must have thought probably that kind of experience should go through for you. So then He gave that experience, bringing that out, and you got that experience, you saw that in your dreams. We call it as vasana. Vasana. That unintentional, what you call that experience. This is it. Something what you know and did it, what you do not know and what you did it. Abuddhi purvaka pravritti. That is what we call. This bird. Yeah, most of the times it comes only during such stage, only during the dreams only. In physical world anyway, whatever you see, that only you understand. What you don't see, you won't understand anything. Right? So, while giving up, you have to give up with the ruchi and vasana also. That is pari. Giving up is dhyaga, but pari means with the ruchi and vasana. As it should not return, maruva rida pari. Right? Give up, just to give up, let it not come back to me, and let it not touch me at all. Ruchi vasana egalodum, lajjayodum. Lajja means feeling shy. Why this kind of things should... No, I don't want this kind of stuff. Like that with lajjai. And maruva nidada padipidavendum. As it never returns to you. Thus, you have to just leave away, you have to give away everything. That is what is the pari talks about, Pari means around, basically. Okay. And then...
When we give up, when we realize why that was a bad thing, is it worth having any kind of shame or guilt at that point? Should we just let it go completely? Is it worth even feeling any atonement or guilt? Or should we just let go?
Not necessarily. Surrender itself is an atonement. You need not do any atonement for that. But when you surrender, that itself becomes an big atonement.
Just leave it.
That's it. Because basically the pari is the prefix, talks about whole. Whole. Give up whole. Why you have to say whole here? And because it's already told in Sarva Dharma, in Sarva. That means here, while giving up in your thought, you have to give up in a specific way, like Ruchi Vasanas, and with the shyness, and as it should not return. So these are things what are the meaning of the pari. Why the pari is included here. Otherwise, Tyaktva is pretty much enough. Sarva Dharman, Tyaktva, and everything else is there. But here the pari is used to make you understand. You have to do like these things with all these details. And then the last part of the word, Jeeyar, the liyap is at the end. That is what now they are explaining for us. Liyapale. Liyap means the ending part of the word, the root, the base, which is a suffix. With that, Liyapale snatva bhunjita yenuma kole upayantarangalai vitte patta vendum engirathu. There are few things which are recommended by Vedas, by scriptures. Like some recommend you to do this first and then do that next. They are called pravrittis. Right? They are called pravritti dharmas. You do this and then do this. There is a vratam called Chandrayana. That means it's a ritual. And for which you have to first of all eat and then do it. Bhuktva Chandrayanam Chare is the rule. That is called pravritti dharma. Bhuktva Chandrayanam Chare, eat food and then do the vratam. That's a nice vratam, you see. So, but that's how it is said. And then there are something snatva bhunjita. You perform snanam and then only you have to eat. This also it is said, So here, you have to perform the snanam and then only you can perform it. When you say bhuktva chandrayanam, that means whether you can eat or you may not eat, but still you can perform the chandrayanam. But it accepts to do things, to eat food while performing the chandrayanam. But when it is said snatva bhunjita, you perform snanam, then only you can eat. That when you are performing snanam, you are not supposed to eat. That's what it says. Like that, when here, what the Krishna says, Mam Vraja, that's what is coming in the next sentence, right? Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Vraja. That means surrender to me, accept me, or just get hold on to me. That's what he said, right? But while getting hold on to him, leaving other things is pretty much important. Unless you do this, you can't just log into him at all. Just like the snatva, without snanam, you are not supposed to eat at all. Like that, unless you yaktva, parityajya, without giving these things, you are unfit to offer, to surrender to him, to get hold of him at all. That's what it says. Because he is siddhopaya. There are many upayas like the sadhyopayas and siddhopayas. Lord is called as siddhopaya. Upayam is the means. There are certain means which you do, then they yield the fruit. But siddhopayam is, you need not do, it is pretty much ready. You just accept it as it is. Just like the cooked food. Just like the cooked food, the ready-made food. Just you pick up and then eat. Finish. Whatever is said, pick and eat. Just like a fast food, yes. Yeah, you go to the shop and then everything is pretty much ready there. Just pick up and then eat. Finish. And if it is in your home, have to prepare everything, Prepare everything is called sadhyopaya. That means you have to put your sadhana there. And then only if the things are ready. Then only you can eat. Otherwise just you can't. You can't eat the flour. You can't just eat the wheat. And you can't eat anything else. But if the things are just made ready for you, kept ready in the showcase and in the plate, just take and just drop in the mouth. That's called Siddhopaya. God is Siddhopaya. You need not to put your effort there to make it Upaya. To make him Upaya. But if it is karma, or jnana, or bhakti, or kshetravasa, or avatar rahasya, anything you need to know. You need to have faith. And you need to keep in your heart. And then only you have to do something on that. Then it starts working with you. But with God, what you have to do? Do you need to gas it? No. Do you need to just switch on or generate something power in that? No. Nothing is required. It is just ready-made. It is called Siddhopaya. Others are called Sadhyopaya. With that you have to do sadhana and then get it. With this, it is ready. So when you are taking the Siddhopaya and you take raw vegetables and you go to the food, do you take rice and go to the food? When food is readily served by mom and kept the plate in front of you, is it necessary for you to take the rice and the stove and the gun to light up? And is it necessary for us to hold all those things? Not necessary, because they are already, whatever is done with them, everything is done and it kept ready for you. Just pick it up and then start eating, finish. So while adopting the Siddhopaya, leave away all other things. Then only this works. Otherwise this doesn't work. Till you give away everything, this doesn't work. That's why it is said, Parityajya, then Vraja. Give up everything and then only surrender. Then only get hold of him. That is what it is said. And to say that without the strong tone, it is said, Parityajya. The incomplete sentence said. What happens if you don't do it? We won't do it. Then what happens? Can you tell us? Is it really dangerous? They are giving an example from Ramayana. In the next sutra, Chichara Chapancha Mumocha Viraha Ingirapadiye Ivai Anupayangadana Matram Annike Kaal Kattu Engiradu. See how dangerous they are. They are not really helping us in getting the fruit, but also put us in trouble. They put us in trouble. Ravana is the right example for that. On the third day when Rama entered the Lanka, war started, of course. And war started and Ravana did not come out on the first day itself. And he was just, sending all the people and just watching carefully what's happening. But when he thought that the danger is so heavy, on third day he wanted to come out. And then he came. He was on the chariot. Rama was standing on the ground only because Rama has no chariot, right? And there the fight started. Ravana was of course shooting so many arrows, and Rama also was facing very efficiently. After some time, Hanuman saw Rama, and then he thought, this is not the right fight. Because Ravana was on the chariot, Rama, he was on the ground. How come this becomes right fight? You also need a chariot, but there is no one here to give you chariot. I become your chariot. Come on, you sit on my back. And then he took Rama on his back and started fighting. And surprisingly, whatever Rama is shooting, all they are hitting Ravana. But what Ravana is shooting, nothing is hitting Rama. So Ravana thought, this is the tricky activity of that Hanuman. Because he already came once and did so many tricks here long ago. And now it is the same guy, taking Rama on his back. And now just making all these things to happen. And that's why my arrows are not sticking to Rama. So I should not fight with Rama first. Let me hurt this Hanuman. Then he shooted so many arrows towards Hanuman. And then what happened as a result of that? The arrows went on Hanuman's body and blood was there all through the body. Just like, there is a tree called Tangedu tree, where there are just red flowers, and you can see that during the summer days. The tree is just full of just flowers only, no leaves will be there. And the flowers are in red color, so big flowers are there. So that's how the Hanuman's body is just full of blood. Rama's heart was very much pained by seeing the Hanuman. Already this guy, faced something when he was young. Because Indra, hurt him, right, in the mouth. And then his mouth was swollen and turned red. No proper plastic surgeon was available in those days. So no proper, grafting was done. So his mouth remained, swollen. And it was just like that for Hanuman. Already he was hurt like that when he was young. But now this Ravana, again hurting the Hanuman and his body. Rama, when he is hurt, when he is shooted, is not much pain. But when his devotee is hurt, then he pains so much. Then he started, fighting with all his power, and then he broke the chariot of Ravana, and he killed the horses, killed the charioteer, and then his crown was fallen, and then his bow also was cut, the bottom part, and the top part also was cut, and nothing was there in his hand now. Everything is just simply gone, and Ravana was almost hands up. But he was only having a small piece, just like this was holding. The top part is gone, the bottom part is gone, but the middle part is in his hand. And actually he was so shocked. He did not expect the things like that. So he was so stunned, not knowing even to just drop this also. But still Rama was shooting arrows towards him. Yeah, what is this? I thought Rama was a righteous person. When the other enemy is not having a weapon, and Rama also never shoots arrows on a person, that's what I heard. But still Rama is shooting arrows against me, though I am not having any arrows in my hand, though I lost everything of mine. Still, why Rama is shooting all these things? He got no clue for that first. And then with a little bit care, then he started observing. Then he realized he is still holding the piece of the bow in his hand like this. Because he forgot that it is there in the hand. That's how he was shocked. He could not come out of the shock. The piece of the bow which I was holding in my hand is not really paving the way for my protection. If something is holding, it should protect me basically. If I hold something, it should protect me. But I'm holding something, it's not really protecting me. But on the contrary, this is allowing the arrows to come and pierce me. What did happen? It's not really a protector, but it is really a destroyer. Yes, it's a destroyer altogether. And then realized that he just simply dropped that. What he dropped? A small piece of the bow. He thought it should serve the purpose. It should become a upaya to fight or to protect. But now it is neither useful for fighting nor for protection. This is not upaya, but this is anupaya. This is a really dangerous thing. Just he left it. The moment he dropped it, Rama stopped shooting arrows. What we call this is abhasa dharma. What we call it? Abhasa dharma. Abhasa dharma means something appears like dharma, but really not dharma. That is called abhasa. Abhasa means superficially looks like. Some people will call abhasa bandhu. Abhasa bandhu means what? Looks like a relative, but it is really dangerous. It's not really a